Incremental, desktop, idle games. The words in any order generally mean the same thing. The games you can have on your screen, where you can also do other stuff in the background. From coding, reading a story, editing a video, or anything else you want to do. This video is a tier list for these games from my perspective, based on how often I'll gift them going C to S. I'll just play most of these on a dark background, with OBS or the game settings themselves being as zoomed in as possible to get the best possible view of the game. And without further waiting, let's jump straight in. Desktop Defense is a game where you upgrade your abilities over time to get to wave 100. The game is a full screen mode. There's lots of different items you can get, but once you unlock it, if it's not that good of an item, you just never really use it until you get the achievement. The main idea is you're grinding for these top builds, top items, then once you're able to beat to level 100, that's sort of all the content. It took me roughly 50 hours and the build crafting was fun, and overall I enjoyed the game enough, very unique in terms of what the game is displayed as, and it can have a very small profile as well. Before now, we fully beat the game and we recommend it as well. Easy C tier, easy recommend. Your Big Cute Monster Farm is a game entirely dedicated to the monsters doing all the work for you. The game is more like a show because you're not actually doing any work. The monsters are essentially doing everything for you outside of you placing the crops, placing the buildings, merging bad monsters together, or just rolling for better monsters. For those 4 very minor tasks, the monsters do everything for you essentially. You have to place what they do, but for what they do is sowing the seeds, watering the seeds, as well as putting the seeds inside the warehouse where you can then sell them to buy more crops to get more monsters. By clearing the mushrooms on the outside, you collect all the special currency in the game that lets you roll for better monsters as well. Because of how automatic this game is, it can feel a bit slow to progress, but it really is for the people that just want to leave it open, running, buy a crop here every now and again, and continue playing. From all the games that I played that were this automatic, this is definitely one that's stood above the rest, and it's a game that I could easily recommend to play. Ramen is a very unique game on this list. It's very inspired by the art style. The game is all about serving an infinite onslaught of customers, different ramens, and over time you upgrade your abilities so you can serve faster, serve quicker, so forth. There's a bunch of decorations too for your character to look at, and you can even upgrade this surrounding ramen cafe as well. The game itself starts off very manual to begin with, but over time it becomes more and more automatic as you unlock things like ingredient refill and so forth. The game also has this Minecraft style recipe creator, so after you make it for the first time, you can serve it to customers forever after that. The game itself is actually pretty fun, and when you get to the super late game, it's entirely automatic as well. Sula the Sidekick is a unique game on this list because the entire idea for it is that you have a unique career companion. It's a very thin demo. The entire idea revolves around the character choosing one of 2 career paths, which is community manager, IT support staff, and you have to help them reduce stress by playing a game with them every now and again, which is honestly not even, it's actually pretty fun. The game itself is very thin, it's a demo, but a fun one nonetheless. The Aviary is a game all about collecting birds and different species of bird. Later on you can breed them together to make eggs, but that is after you get to a stage where you actually have the birds. To actually get there, you have to idle the game for a little bit to make the gold from the birds that you already have, and there's 2 different areas that let you do this, with areas giving you stage bonuses to increase the effect of that bird and how much gold they generate. The final goal is to get a full island of red birds, and once you get there, you don't have to pay the egregious price of $1 billion for a single egg, and instead you can use the 2 red birds you hatch to breed together to make the egg for you, and so forth to have an entire island of them. There's a lot of content here, including decorating the island itself, 3 different islands to work from, different backgrounds, upgrades, and decor for the map. There's lots of birds for those who like birds and are interested in birds as well. The game's interesting, and one of my favorite features is that if you have a browser on the screen, let's say a work or a document, the bird can actually perch on that notepad or on whatever folder you have that you're actually working on. Collecting that first exotic bird feels great, even though you have to wait X amount of hours in real time to actually get that bird after you actually get the egg. The Dream Globe is a gorgeous game where you're collecting mini vignettes across different maps. The game itself bolsters this antique snow globe vibe, and the entire idea is very nice and very beautiful and very gorgeous to look at. The game is very linear, where there's 4 different maps. The first map has the cheapest upgrades, the 4th map has the most expensive upgrades, and you have to upgrade those specific areas to get more money to upgrade things further. Each of the maps also has a different minigame, where let's say you want to get a legendary item, you might have to spin a wheel, you might have to choose a bar going up and down, you might have to click on an anvil and get lucky. But you can upgrade some abilities to get you better odds of winning these games, but for the most part, it's fine if you lose because you have plenty of chances to win down the line. The 4 maps are beautiful, the different areas and scenes are beautiful, the game itself is beautiful, and it becomes really big on your screen too. Desktown is a mini planet desktop companion that doubles as a productivity widget, as well as a game itself. For the widget side of things, the main globe view that you have lets you use it as a time, a timer, a focus or a break, an alarm, and a stopwatch. This is a game that keeps track of what you press, and there's a satellite minigame that sort of feels like crosswords, so you can try and guess the words inside the category to get the points for that word. And the game itself is really fun. The only downside to that idea where you type in keys is the idea about seeing what you type go on the screen, like passwords. The population growth is also not the best stats-wise, but these two are very minor things when the majority of this game is an idle game where you sit back and watch the population, the food, and the intelligence grow so you can buy better and better areas for better and better production for these three stats. The game has a bunch of decorations as well, so it ends up being very beautiful and you can make it the way you want to look, with the exception that if you want it to be as optimal as possible, you have to buy the later game, late stage upgrades like you see in my town here. Idlewood Outpost is hyper automatic, that is, you do barely anything with no punishment doing nothing. The game watches your characters attack different monsters, which drop different artifacts and loot, which help you progress faster and faster. With the more characters you get, the better enemies you verse and the more gold they drop. The game itself has lots more expansion that developers noted on, so I'm really excited to see where it goes. Personal housing is on this list, as well as a few other updates. The game itself is pretty thin in terms of content right now. The items go towards the character it belongs to, and as a result, that character gets stronger. Being able to resize the window is really fun too, so as a result, I really like this combination of features. I really like this game, and I'm really excited to see where the dev takes this game, because I really enjoyed playing it when I did play it. This game is all about training your chicken to get stronger and stronger, and as a result grow bigger and bigger over time. There's 4 upgrades which are very purposeful, which is strength, stamina, recovery, and speed, which lets you lift more, lift longer, recover quicker, and lift quicker. The entire idea is as you lift weight, you get these points, and with these points you can both buy these upgrades as well as buy golden eggs. Golden eggs can be used to buy global upgrades where you get a permanent increase for that stat when you buy the decoration or the theme or the hairstyle or whatever you need. Right now we have the Christmas theme going on, and that gives us different benefits elsewhere. We also have the pounder mini game, which allows us to actually hit this for casino-esque odds, where if you want ×2 it's about 45%, so house always wins. The game also has the gifting appeal of tongue-in-cheek nature. It's a game I would gift, if not for just the tongue-in-cheek nature, for the content and the recommendation as inspiration to make a game in this genre, to a friend of mine who maybe wants to make a game in this genre. Desktop Cat Cafe is one of the games on this list that don't have as much polish as the other games. I didn't get too far in this one, but the idea is it's a 3D-ish art style that's very beautiful and it stands out for that reason. And the entire idea is you watch the cat traffic come through and you focus on decorating and other elements which make you more of a planner than a player. The game itself is super simple and super easy to play, and the entire idea is with the money you make, you buy better tools, you buy more recipes, and you serve more customers. Over time you make more money and you rinse and repeat the process. That's our seed tier games covered. They were all games that I'd recommend fully, just maybe not to the most broad range of people. On screen right now we have all the games in that tier that we just saw. Towards the B tier is more broad games that I recommend broadly to more people. So without any further ado, let's move towards the B tier. Maltease's Fluffy Onsen is a game where you build and manage a spa onsen with temperature zones, items, and visitor needs. The game is a very satisfying incremental loop where you design a beautiful, maintainable sauna and you watch it fill up with characters that you unlock over time by accomplishing different things. There's various systems in the game too, so you're not just locked to saunas, you can have different arcade machines, karaoke machines, and so forth, vending machines, I can keep going. Extra features as well, from visitor interactions, you can see them singing or just reviewing the place. There's also an edible MIDI track, which is auto-tuned towards a different song. You also have various different decorations for the walls, the floors, and everything else to make the onsen or the spa your own. It's very content heavy. There's even a full screen mode where you can see all your floors back to back. And because of the nature of the game, because of the theme of the game being so unique, I really enjoyed it. So I'm easily recommending this game. Not Monday Cafe is a very content heavy game where you have many hours to actually finish everything. Even with my current playtime, which I think is like 100 hours for this game, I'm still barely anywhere in the depth of how much content this machine has. The game itself is extremely beautiful and attractive to play, and I really enjoyed playing it too, and it's the game I'll come back and probably finish it off, even if it takes me 300-400 hours to do so. The game is a full crop farming system, which you use to collect ingredients for the recipes, and for the recipes themselves is well over 300, and for the dining room themselves is a lot of progression in how wide you can make it. The game has a fairly small profile that you can make larger, and the actual upgrading system is very deep. You can also integrate your stream into this, so your viewers come to your cafe live, and it's a game that I really enjoy the content and the breadth of. It's a game I could recommend to a lot of people, and it's a game that I would highly recommend to anyone that wants to play it, because it's such a fun and deep, beautiful game that has a lot of content in it too. My Little Spider is a game where the entire idea of it, you work as a little spider in the top left corner, and over time you catch bugs, with the progression being different upgrades and different things you can add to your web, such as charms, which increase the attractiveness of your web and let you grab more and more creatures as you go on. To get full completion, you have to get every single creature in every single location, and in fact, we have a crossover for Ropuka, where you can play as Ropuka as the main spider, who collects the insects for you. This game has a lot of content, a lot of depth, and I really enjoyed playing it for those reasons. It's also very fun to see the web in the corner of the screen when you have an overlaid project over it, such as DaVinci or Obsidian, or really any program that I'm using, Brave, watching YouTube videos. You can also customize the color of the web for any color that you want, and sort of the strength and the highlights of the web. Nonetheless, the game itself is very beautiful, and I like the unique sort of style of the game. It's not like a taskbar game or a game that takes up much real estate. It's very thin in how you actually have the game on your screen too. With that being said, I'd recommend this one. Tiny Pasture is a game that I had low expectations going into it, but I'm really happy that I played it. The game has one of the smallest profiles on any game on this list, and the entire idea, as if you can see on the screen, is you collect monsters, you click on them over time, you collect their gold, and you keep going. You can see the theme I chose for my actual pastures, and the entire idea is we start at the bottom with Pallet Town, where we have all the different characters from bunnies, cats, and corgis, and we move up to Viridian, which has our foxes and maybe some late game characters, and so forth. We have different characters and different animals that we collected. There is an outline for these characters. The outline represents the quality we have them in as a highest form in adulthood. Yellow is legendary and red is like super legendary. We have one rainbow, which is like super duper legendary. We have to actually click on the animals to make the gold, but you can buy bees which get the gold for you without you having to do anything as a result. You also have different facilities, like the house which chops food automatically for you, which makes the game more automatic, and you have the brush which cleans up the excrement of the animals, which also helps you with making the game more automatic. So at the end, when you're late game here, all you have to do is really just click on the animals to get the gold. There's decorations you can add to for the island, different ways to make it look and different ways to make it feel, and the game itself really did blow me away with the quality that I just wasn't expecting. And as a result, I'd easily recommend this game, and it's a game that I actually really enjoyed playing. Tiny Monster Haven is a Pokemon-like monster hatching and farming game where you can grow crops and feed the crops to your monsters, which give them more stats for the different abilities and different stats, so like power, strength, speed, etc. It also fills up their stomachs, which is pretty wholesome, but yeah, it's pretty separate. The demo showcases two main types of combat, which is the racing and the minigames, where the racing game focuses on the monster's stats to beat the other enemy, where you can sort of cheat as well and press the arrow key and makes the guy run faster, but it's sort of funny that that's a feature. To get better abilities for the character, you have to buy them with the gold that you earn through either selling the crops or by beating and winning multiple races or battles. You unlock more monsters by winning battles and getting the essence, and by getting the essence you unlock more monsters. And the cool thing about this game is each of the monsters also help you with your farm. They can help you fertilize, move, and water the seeds, and as a result the game feels like this one cohesive package. The game is very fun, and as a taskbar game I'm excited to see the full version. Depending on where it goes, I can easily recommend this game to anyone that likes Pokemon, which is a lot of people. Pocket Gecko is a game that I really enjoyed playing. There's various features you can do inside the game which I really enjoyed. It's a game I didn't think I'd play as much as I did until I beat it fully, and I was like, wow, and I wanted more afterwards as well. The game follows a gecko that catches insects. The unique element of this game is, instead of selling the insects, you can choose add them to your trophy pile instead. And the effect of having them inside your trophy box ranges from a lot of things. Early game, it might be something simple like catching level 2 creatures. Late game will be catching the highest level of creature. You can also increase your bug box size for your maximum capacity of insects. You can increase how fast they spawn. You can increase how many trophy slots you have. You can increase the quality chance. You can increase the trophy effect. You can increase the instant capture, the rare bug spawn, and so forth. The game itself has so many different insects and different abilities that it's really fun to play and actually progress to grab exactly what you need. I really enjoyed Project Gecko a lot more than I honestly thought I would, and it's easily recommended for people that just want a kickback sort of idle game, but also has a bit of depth, so dare I say it feels strategic as well. Cornerpond is a game that I played earlier on this list, and it's a game that got me into playing the other games on this list as well. It's a very cozy desktop corner fishing idler that runs while you work. It's mostly automatic, where every now and again you'll get alerted when the fish you want to catch is rare or maybe a bit too tough for your current level, and in that case you want to click on the bullseye targets to get the fish more manually. The game itself has a bunch of customization as well, which is changing the bauble, changing the character, from the hats, the clothes that they're wearing, or the color that they're wearing as well. There are potions too, where you can get more fish value, more catch XP, you can decrease the bite times, and you can catch tiny fish too. There's also where you can get rare, legendary, and epic fish as well, just so you can complete the collection too. Of all the games on the list, I think this is the one I've spent the most time playing, with the exception of maybe one or two that we've already looked at that I might need more time than just to beat it. This was definitely the longest of all the games I've played, and by no means was it ever bad. It's cutesy, it's a nice game to play, and I enjoyed playing it, so it's an easy beat here. Then Our Neighbors is a game that's very unique and one wants to be. The game itself focuses on this social idea where you can go to different hubs in different worlds, communicate with live players, make friends, and so forth. We didn't see anyone live when we were playing, but there is some players for this game, and they do exist, with more to come as more integrations and partnerships happen with this game. This is how I've designed my area, but the decoration in this game is very, very large, as there's many upgrades you can get. You unlock things by playing minigames. The 4 main minigames right now is the asteroid minigame, cooking minigame, delivery minigame, and the streaming minigame. There's many features as well, which is room codes, public rooms, shared activities, Twitch and Discord integrations. But I really like how you can control and build out your area. Sort of reminds me of an old school Habbo hotel or a game along those lines. We even have our little friend there in the corner in our little house, Rapuka. We've seen him one other time in a crossover. We even have another one on the left side from Rusty's retirement. By all means, it's a fun game to play, and I would recommend it for anyone else that social sort of idle vibe like this offers. Loafing Town is a bit less idle than the other games. In this one, you're overseeing a hero village where you get more units over time and you have to sacrifice them for the chance of getting a better unit, where red is the highest value. Every mob has a chance to drop a blueprint, and that blueprint can be placed on your island for different needs and effects. The game has this physics-based grabbing mechanism where you can grab any unit, whether it be an ally or an enemy, for someone that wants an RPG that actually feels like an RPG, but also gives them room on their screen to do other stuff. It's a very easy game to recommend. I really enjoy Loafing Town, and I'll keep playing it after this video, so it's easy to recommend for that reason as well. Cafe, Idle Bird Collector, is super simple, and the devs have added a lot of features based on feedback, including autoplay, as you see in the top right. Autoplay will automatically invite the guests for you and choose the dishes best for them for you as well. You also have an increased game mode speed where you can make the game up to 5 times as quick, and you have a bunch of different ambiances and decorations you can add to the game as well to make it sort of customizable and sort of unique. The game itself is a big gacha mechanic too, where you have to roll for better guests and better items, and if you just draw a 1-star item or a 2-star item, you can always just play a bunch and grab a 3-star from that 2-star item. Just the minigame by itself for this game, I really enjoyed playing as well, where it's sort of this unique game where the idea is if there's a pink bird, then all the cards have touched a pink bird. If there's an orange bird, they've touched an orange bird. If it's a blue bird, same thing. Yellow bird, same thing. Green bird, same thing. And you do the puzzle this way. The game is super fun, and I'm glad it's on this list. Out of Water is easily one of the best desktop fishing games I've played. It has a great amount of actionable things to do, as well as a lot of idle things you can do as well. The game feels great with over 12 biomes, 100 plus fish, a lot of color variants. There's treasures you can find to get different accomplishments and you unlock new areas. You upgrade your boat so you can look at more areas as well, more biomes. There's an aquarium feature where you can add fishes to an aquarium and display them on your screen separately. And also in that aquarium feature, you can also get items for those quests that were previously mentioned. There's a charm feature too, so you can specifically get upgrades so you can find specific fish or variants. And all in all, there's a lot of content behind this fishing game in a way that's really, really well made. The game window is also very manageable, so no matter what you're working on, it's very easy to control and place it in a way that isn't disrupting your work or your flow. The game is great and I would easily recommend it. Mini Painter is an isometric desktop game where you play as a tiny artisan painter who paints miniatures with his time. The main idea for the game is he tries to lazy off a few times, or either be laying down, going and playing games, having a smoke break or whatever else, and you have to re-click on the painting grid to make him go back and do what he has to do. The game itself boasts a bunch of upgrades. We can upgrade his space, his life, his items, his wall color, and so forth. And with the miniatures that you do paint, you can either add it to your collection or you can sell it for the money that it's worth. The game itself is work management, where the idea is you stop him from playing games, stop him from, sleeping or other things, so you can focus on the work he has to do. If he works too much, he gets burnt out, which takes a while for him not to get burnt out anymore. As you unlock more and more things, the game does get more and more automatic. The alarm clock feature, which sort of forces him to go back to work without you having to click on him. When you buy an upgrade from the store, it makes it disappear from the actual boxes that you can choose from in the collection. And all in all, I really enjoyed this game. That wraps up the B tier. On the screen right now is the B tier and the C tier games. The A tier games are very broad giftability and highly recommended on my part. The B tier games are also highly recommended. The C tier games also highly recommended. So I sort of really made that point that I really enjoyed so many games on this list, as you can tell by my hours on these games. Without further waiting, this is the A tier. Nanomon is a game that takes roughly this much space on your screen, with some OBS magic, let's increase it so it's full screen. Based on what you do, the Nanomon can evolve various different ways. The game feels real, and it really has that Tamagotchi feel, where you're really leveling up the pet, feeding him, filling up their thirst, making him happy, and so forth. There's surprisingly a deep amount of things you can do, and one of my personal favorite standout features here is a PvP system. So if you and a friend have this game, you share a code, in this case I'll just verse myself, and you can verse your friend. So their progression and your progression can go head to head. There's different types of Nanomon you can get, and the game has a really small footprint for what it's worth. And the game itself really focused on this idea where you send the pet out to explore different areas, In that exploration, they get experience, they burst out the nanomons, they level up, they get stronger, and they sort of take in that environment. There's over 25 monsters in the nanoscape, and they all have different abilities. I look forward to this game, both me playing it and me getting really far ahead, as well as versing other people who have this game and seeing what they've done and what they've created with their nanomon. The game itself has training, stats, evolutions, and mini integrations, and the choices meaningfully steer everything, and it's just a very, very fun game overall. We have what is a classic in this field, which is Ropuka's Island. We've seen this game showcased in a few other games with crossovers and partnerships, and the game itself really is incredible. The game uses the sticker system. You use stickers to unlock different areas on the map, and you can change how the map looks as a result of this. It's polished, it's lightweight, it's an idle, relaxing game with a clear, clean the island goal. It's slow, long-term progression, aimed at chilling rather than grinding, and it does so in a way that is so unique and beautiful that it's very clear to see why it's so beloved in the community. All the upgrades feel meaningful, stamina, grass quality, etc., and all improves the flow and makes the game feel very, very nice to play. It's easily recommended for people that just want a game in the background because it does everything it does very well, and it's so easy to recommend as a result. Berserk B.I.T.S is one of the more complex games on this list. The left side showcases a pink box and a yellow box. The yellow box is the chips that we get from the blue box where our robots are. Over time, our robots generate cards, the cards go to our yellow box, then during the auto battle section of the game, we use these cards to attack whatever monster. We can also manually take over the left side and use the cards ourselves, and this is helpful for boss fights or things where we need HP or we have to prioritize certain cards to stay alive. The blue box is where most of the magic happens. Using eggs that you get through missions, you can get more and more creatures. Those creatures generate different cards, and you want to set up a deck of very specific cards to beat the boss that's coming for you. The game itself is very Mega Man aesthetic vibes. I really enjoyed this game, and I'm still playing this game even after this video comes out. In the shop, you have automations that allow you to get program bots for your health and your coins to get more money. You have challenges to get you mission unlocks for items. You have bots that help you automate the game a bit more. You have a bunch of customizability on the profile of the game, and every single box you have on the screen, you can change it around so it doesn't disrupt whatever workflow you have going on. The game itself feels good, it feels polished, you can make it extremely small, extremely big. You can even loop the pink box so you do the same mission 10 times in a row, so you can just sort of watch it while you do some work in the background. Tiny Terraces is an idle farming diorama. It has a horizontal bar, a vertical bar, and even a full screen mode, which is what we'll use for this sort of explanation here. In this game, there is a bunch of crops where you can farm over time, and with the crops that you get, you can make units, which do different things. You also have animals that you can farm, like chickens, which make eggs. There is a lot to love about Tiny Terraces, from the beauty of how it looks, to the great watch while you work idea that it has, because it's visually very nice just to look at. The decorations and the achievements feel earned because it can take some time to get there, but it's one of those games where it taking its time really just adds to the enjoyment factor. The game is really beautiful, as you can see here, and for that, I'd highly recommend it. It's polished, it's clean, and has an amazing soundtrack too, so you can't go wrong with this one as a gift. Taskbar Hero is a game that came as a demo on this list, but it's so unique and amazing I had to add it. It's an idle RPG that lives entirely in the window taskbar, and right now it's really zoomed in because it's some OBS magic. It looks like this normally. The entire idea is you have a character, and your character needs to get items to beat higher levels over time. For example, with every class you can add items to them, you can give them different abilities and upgrades, and you level up over time to be able to beat the level you're trying to fight on. In the demo, you can have up to 2 characters, but the coolest thing about this game isn't the cube where you can transmit your items to a high quality one. It's actually the fact that every item you get in this game goes directly to your Steam account. There's only 2 games, I believe, on this list that do that, and seeing it in this game was such a surprise because you have this really beautiful high quality game, then you have this really fun feature where as you play the game you get actual items that you can sell on the market, or just put on the market, or just showcase from your profile on your Steam profile if this is a game that you end up putting a lot of hours into. The game's demo showcases what the future is going to be: 6 classes, tons of items, tons of skills, 3-person parties, stat rolling, a bunch of items, a bunch of levels, a bunch of difficulties that you can increase per level. Taskbar Hero, for that reason, is such a unique item on this list. The game is a zero distraction designed, and you only engage when you want to tweak the builds or pick up the items. It's such an easy A tier. It's going to be easy to gift once it comes out, and the game itself is really fun again, so I'd highly recommend it. Mini Cozy Room is an idle game that's a bit unique here because it's less about the gameplay and more about the idle. The game itself boasts various rooms that you can customize and upgrade and so forth. We have the main room here and then a Christmas room to the right. It has a built-in Pomodoro timer, a session timer, a notes, and a to-do. There's a mini mode as well to make the profile extremely small. It has multi-monitor support and it's still other features. My personal favorite are the Spotify integration. It also has the web integration, which I've definitely used, where you can play any YouTube video you like from the game itself. The game lets you also import your own music locally from your computer. Not too much to say about this one, but it's an easy gift for people that just like the music and like the lo-fi and like things in the background. And by every single aspect, this game feels polished and amazing to play, and it's easily recommended and it's easily an A tier giftable spot. Rusty's Retirement is the blueprint for this genre and for good reason. It has broad appeal and polished progression, the robot farming at the edge of the screen with strong animation and planning focuses. It's built for side screen play. You can have vertical or horizontal that you set when you start the save. It has a focus mode to reduce distraction and many more features built in. There's synergies, layout optimizations, robots, houses that you build, and various crops to help you continue playing the game. It's creative, receives updates, and it's just such an amazing game to have and to play, and it's so easy to recommend. It has such a big influence that you could call it the grandfather for this entire genre, as it helped spark the wave of modern desktop idlers. And for that reason, it's so easy to recommend to people. The game is incredible, easy to recommend, and it's on this list for that reason. And that's the A tier. Before we get to the S tier, there is one more honorable mention here that's really important to point out. We do have an honorable mention, which is a free game that you could also call the mascot, much like Rusty's Retirement, and that is the one, the only, Bongo Cat. Bongo Cat is a huge hype mascot for this industry, as it's a free game, so recommending it. Super easy, as it's a free game that's instantly recognizable, super polished, and again, free. It turns typing into a bongo typing animation and rewards you with hats and cosmetics that you can sell in the same store. So overall, it's simple and easy to recommend. Now, that's it for the A tier, the bongo tier, the B tier, and the C tier. What's left is the S tier, the one game that stands above the rest, and I really want to reaffirm that the only reason why it's standing above the rest is because through my Steam logs, I've gifted and recommended this the most. But every game in the A tier is an amazing gift as well. For the S tier, the game I would recommend and I have recommended, and this game which I've put in S tier is Fish to Dish Idle Sushi. It's a game that to me feels extremely polished, and that's why I enjoyed it so much. Every feature sort of comes together extremely well, and I'd like the cross comparison on what you can do and how you can play it. The game doesn't overstay its welcome for the genre that it is. It's nice, it's smooth, it's simple, and I can't give it much more props than I really enjoyed it. And that's not all either. The game is an amazing dev team who's constantly updating the game with changes and patches and much more. In terms of the gameplay itself, you have the main boat mode, which does catch fish over time, and we have a little pet here that will automatically capture it for us too. Different events give us gold randomly or fish randomly. We have a sushi bar, where we can serve the fish to customers for X amount. We have stores where we can upgrade both the bait that we're using, as well as the clothes of our character and the chef. We have boats to upgrade the boat that we have. We can chuck on this rubber ducky boat, for example. They have a much larger boat. We can also upgrade our fishing rod here too to a higher level if we didn't just spend all the money on a rubber ducky. In the hatchery, we can go for the hard to get variants very easily. Then inside the aquarium, we can feed our fish to fill up this hunger bar, which will give us money over time. We also have an inventory to see everything we've collected, a map to see everything all the places we can go to, and a bestiary to see everything we've collected again. But it could even go to a mini mode. With right click, you can drag it anywhere on your screen, and as a result, you have this extremely small profile where you can watch it do anything you want, and every time you type, similar to Pongo, you can see these light up as well. The game is fun. And that's it. That's the 30-ish games that I recommend playing for this genre that I have played over the past few weeks. I'm sure I missed a bunch, so feel free to tell me in the comments below. But for the most part, these are the games I really enjoyed playing and want to talk about for this video, because they do make great little gifts to people that maybe just forgot to buy them gifts. But I want to reaffirm that all the games on this list are amazing, and these are my preferences, of course. Let me know what you disagree with. Let me know if there's a game that I missed. But on screen now is the tier list one last time, and without further ado, we'll close out the video here. Thank you for watching up to this point. Like, subscribe, and all that stuff. This video did take a while, so it would be very appreciated to play. I'll put on the earn screen one more time. All in all, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.